Hi! As you are watching this, I am at Woodward. A whole week without internet. Oh dear lord, that's gonna be hard. This week's video is talking about Worlds 2011. I went to Worlds this year. This is my first year ever getting to go see it in person. We'll start off with the good things I like about Worlds this year. I love that my gym got top 3. I almost cried. Literally, me and my sister were holding hands like this during awards, like it was us on the stage. And when they, we were like, please place higher than last time, please, 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 please. And after they announced 4th place, we screamed. We were like, yeah, top 3. And people around us were like, what is our problem? Oh my god. And then of course we were 3rd place, but it was still awesome because that was all we prayed for. We I know we're not going to get 1st, and I'm probably not going to get 2nd, but please let us get 3rd, just so we can say we're in the top 3. This may sound horrible, but I was rooting for Senior Elite to not win. I really wanted World Cup or F5 to win because I love them, and I was really excited. We were also holding hands, and as soon as they announced in the 3rd, we jumped up and down too. We were like, yeah! In your face! It was so bad. I tried to hold it back, but it wasn't. But that's the worst. Anyway, the teams were really good. There was way too many small senior teams, though. Way too many teams. There was, they had them all day long. All in the milk house. Take them to Jostens, okay? I don't want to see all of them. The international teams were awesome. Makes me want to move to, another country and cheer there because you don't have to have good tumbling to be able to do those awesome stunts. Because they don't have access to that kind of stuff there. They don't have, gymnastics people to teach them. So they only have, some of them have back handsprings, and some of them have fulls, and some of them don't have anything. And I'm like, yes! Hook me up! I don't tumble. Come on, man. I want to fly over there. That looks sweet. And a lot of those flyers are my size, so it's yeah, I'm moving there later. And Bangkok was amazing. Oh my god. So good. I knew they would be because I'd seen them on YouTube before. I didn't see them in the program, and I was like, oh no, are they really not here? Because they're so good. You have to see them. And then later in that day, they announced them, and I freaked out. I was like, oh my god, I get to see them in person. Oh my god, oh my god. And I'm like, Justin, this is what I told you about. And they came on, and the entire arena loved them. Everyone was standing up, and everyone was clapping and cheering, and it was just really great. I wasn't expecting any of that from the crowd for, anything. Every time someone had their jump sequence, the whole audience was saying, hit, 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 pull. And, you don't get that in normal competition, so it's really cool. And during the dance, they do the clap. They have an dance. And I wonder if anyone can actually hear that on the stage because the whole arena is doing it, so it's really awesome. The only really bad thing I can say about, getting there early and staying all day, because you will be entertained all day, the only bad thing is their food sucks. The food in the milk house is awful. The food around the milk house is awful. Bring your own food. I'm not even kidding. It's so bad. And I'm a vegetarian, so it sucks even more for me. Their pretzels are way too salty. Way too salty. They don't even have cinnamon pretzels. Their fries are disgusting. And ugh. And my sister couldn't even eat their hamburger. She said it was nasty. But anyways, off topic. The world is not about food. There were way too many teams there. That's another thing. They really should limit the bids, because I know how awesome it is to get to go to Worlds. I mean, I'm not a little fun cheerleader or anything, but I'm saying I can imagine how awesome it is. And going to Worlds should be a privilege. It shouldn't be expected. You should not be that many at-large bids at all. Because, small senior was way too big. You'll understand when I say that they need to limit the bids, because, most of it's probably because of freaking Cheer Extreme, but, during large senior, I about killed somebody. We sat on the end, day 2, on the end of the row, because I didn't want to be squished around a lot of people, and the people kept, the people who were running it kept telling people to get out of the staircase, you can't sit there, that's a fire hazard, you can't do that. And in small senior, I was on the end over here, and I was surrounded by people sitting on the stairs. Just a million people there. You're like, dude, go! And of course I had to go to the bathroom, and so I got up, and I looked at the person, I'm like, excuse me, and she just looked at me like I was an idiot, and I'm like, excuse me, and she just, so I stepped on her. And she got mad. She gave me a really weird look. And I'm like, psh, told you to move. And when I came back, I had to step over some more people, and they're all giving me the stink eye. I'm like, hey, I have a seat. It's not my fault you waited the last minute to come sit on the stairs. Like, if you wanted to see them, come early and get a seat. Like, it's not that hard to get a seat. I don't want to hear any about that. It's not my fault. As for teams and everything, it was really awesome to watch, and I'm like in awe the whole weekend. And I went to all the Disney World parks, and it was awesome, except for MGM Studios. That is another thing we need to talk about. Oh my gosh! If you ever go to Worlds, don't ever go to the block party. If you have a problem with drunk cheerleaders, don't go to the block party. Don't do it, because I almost got in a fight. I'm not even kidding. It was awful. There were this team from Canada. And I know about the drinking age is different there, but when they're in America, they have to listen to our laws. And so this whole team is drunk off their bottoms. I forget, I don't cuss on camera. They are so drunk. And it wouldn't be a problem for me because I'm like, you do what you do. It's not my business. But when you're, like, so obnoxious, it just makes me want to hurt you, basically. And so we were in the line for Tower of Terror. And they're behind us, a couple of groups behind us, and they are singing. Like, not singing, they're screaming their music. The entire song. And I'm like, how do you know your music that well? Like, I have to hear my music to be able to sing it like that. You are insane. And then once they finished that, they started singing Senior Elite's music. The whole thing. Then once they finished that, they started singing the Canada National Anthem. Like, and then they started on their music again, and everybody in line was like, shut up! And they were just like, that's so drunk! And I'm like, I'm gonna hit you. Like, right now I'm gonna hit you. And anyways, we escaped them when we got inside. Like, I was looking at the person who was working the door. I was like, please tell them to be quiet. And he was just like, he's like, I'm not getting involved in this. This isn't my job. I'm like, you work here. You can tell them to shut up. But, we finally got away from them. We made sure we were not going to be in the same elevator with them because, no, it wasn't going to happen. That was just them in line. Oh, no. Okay, so we got off, and we went to Rock and Roller Coaster. And sure enough, they show up directly behind us. This is where it gets interesting. And I tell the woman as we're getting in line, I'm like, please tell them to be quiet. I do not want to listen to them in this line again. And so she tells them, and they are shut up for a little bit. And then they're stumbling in behind us and pushing us, and we're like, get off of me. Like, you touch me one more time. Seriously, stop. And I even asked the people politely, I'm like, can you please stop this? Like, some of us are trying to enjoy our night, and you're ruining it for us. And they just kind of looked at me and laughed, like, you're stupid. And then another guy in front of us, he was so funny. He, like, they started, they were, like, pushing and shoving, and you can smell the alcohol on them at this point. And he turns around, and he's like, can you please stop it? And they're just like, ah! And I'm like, oh my god, you're such an idiot. And so they start singing the Canada song again. And I turn around, and I'm like, do not start that again! And they're like, they stop for a little bit. And I turn around, and everybody in line is looking at me like, I'm like, I'm not afraid. Whatever. And then they stop for a little bit, and then they start again, like, whatever. And so we're walking in line, and they keep pushing all up on us, and my sister gets out of line. She's like, I'm going to go get a manager. And so she got out of line and did that, and I kept in line, and they would not stop being obnoxious. Like, they were the most obnoxious people in the world. And so she came back with the manager, and I blocked their way because I was in front of them. And I held out my arms, and I was like, you need to go with him, because he's trying to get them. And they're like, we don't speak English. We don't speak English. I'm like, you're speaking perfect English right now. Like, no. And the girl, when Jessica came back to stand next to me, one of the girls decided she wanted to get up in her face. So she's like, head bobbing all up in my sister's face. And so I step in front of her, and now I'm in her face, so that she leaves my sister alone. And I'm like, she's like, why do you gotta snitch on us? I'm like, thought you didn't understand English. And I'm like, this close to this girl. And I'm like, I'm gonna hit her so hard right now. And I'm trying not to because I don't want to get kicked out of the park. And so, they're trying to pull them out of line. And they only got like 1 or 2 people. And they said they found a cup full of alcohol. Like, why can't you do anything about that? Like, that is so stupid. Like, that's not only illegal, but you shouldn't allow that in your park. Like, you're stupid. Like, not only does... And USAF said they had no tolerance for that this year. Nothing was done about it. Nothing. Nothing was done about them. And so they pulled us out of line, and I thought they were going to move us to the front so we could ride and get off. Like, get away from them. And no, they pulled us to the front, and, well, actually, before that, when I was in the girl's face, my sister went with the manager again, who was pulling her out of line because we were in different sections at that point. And one of the girls girl from ahead of me pulled me away from them and told me they weren't worth it, like, don't hit them. And so we made friends with them. And then they pulled me out of line with her, and I went and stood with her, and we were standing by a door. And then he opened the door, and it was like an exit. And I'm like, we want to ride this ride. They had us standing there so long that the stupid people caught up to us. Like, Disney, you are dumb, okay? You are dumb, Disney. You do not know how to handle things. And so we ended up getting on the ride, and Jessica was getting nervous because she was freaking out, and she didn't know they were drunk. They were a big group. She didn't know what they were going to do. And so I was just telling her, I was like, hey, don't look back. Don't look back. They don't know we're up here. Just ride the ride. Don't look at them. And then they came in like almost right behind us when we were getting on the ride. I was like, don't look. Just don't look. And we rode the ride and called our stepdad to come get us immediately, like right before we got on the ride, because we wanted him to be here so that we wouldn't have to walk out alone or whatever. And he didn't get there fast enough. He was just waiting out in the car. So as soon as we got off the ride, we booked it to the exit, and we went back to the hotel. And we complained to the hotel. Like, we told them that this needs to be dealt with. This is not acceptable. Like, I don't know, just don't go to the block party. That's all I can say. The block party is trouble, and I understand why they were trying to get rid of it, but getting rid of the dancing didn't do anything. They need to start checking people when they come in the door more. Like, look in their cups, smell their breath. Like, I don't care what you have to do. Like, I know Worlds can be stressful and everything, but can you wait until you get home to get drunk or something? Because that is just so mind-blowing. Like, I'm sorry that you lost Worlds, but it's one weekend. You can do without alcohol for one weekend. Go underage drink somewhere else. Oh, so irritating. Okay, that was like the worst part of Worlds. I'll tell you that. That is the worst part that I hate. I hated. But, I mean, hey, if I hit her, it only would have been in my sister's defense. So she shouldn't have gotten in her face, and she wouldn't have had her face knocked down. But if someone didn't pull me away, she probably would have ended up on the ground. And, oh, did I tell you, when my sister came back with the manager, the whole line clapped for her. The entire line clapped. They were like, thank you! Like, somebody is doing something about this. Because everyone else was just like, they were annoyed, but they weren't going to get involved. They were like, it'll be over soon, it'll be over soon. We're like, no, I'm not going to deal with this. Like, I'm here at Disney World to enjoy my time here, not getting harassed by drunk people. So, whatever. And I'm sure if I had thrown the first punch, or whoever threw the first punch, if there was fighting involved, the whole line would have jumped in to help me. I can guarantee you that. This video is a mile long, but I mean, I think I'm the only one in the club that actually went to Worlds this year and not just commenting on the teams. So I felt like I would tell you more about Worlds itself than like the teams. And I'll let you tell them about it, but I mean them tell you about it. But so yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm going again next year, but I'm staying far away from that block party. I'm never going there again. And so I mean, yeah. Well, I'm probably enjoying my time at Woodward. Hopefully, I hope I'll be home soon. I'm riding a plane for the first time in my life. It's really scary. I've never ridden a plane, and I'm terrified of them since 9/11. And you know that movie Snakes on a Plane, and just I'm so scared. So pray for me. I know it's kind of late to pray for me now because I'm already at Woodward, but pray for me to get home safely if I didn't die on the way there. Alright, I love you guys. Bye!